It's a question that many people ask, and it's an answer which does not change. What was it like facing Rafael Nadal on Court Philippe-Chatrier? And the answer, I don't want to face him there. As simple as that. Whichever opponent faced Nadal on Philippe-Chatrier had one thing to say. Please, any other court, anywhere else, but not there. It was a strange relationship between Nadal and Philippe-Chatrier for his opponents, but for Rafa, it was a relationship like no other. He owned the court all right, but the court also gave him everything it had to make sure that Rafa brought its best out. No, there was no conjuring of tricks. There was this plain and simple spirit that Rafa infused in himself, or maybe the court infused in Rafa, that actually brought out the best of him, no matter who was at the other end. From 2005 all the way to his final major win at the French Open, Rafa Nadal went through a lot. He had to face top left handed opponents, he had to face some incredible right handed opponents, some who were brilliant at the baseline, some who were brilliant at the net. There were opponents taller than him, there were opponents stronger than him, there were opponents who were far more classy than him, there were opponents who didn't give up, maybe more than him. But even after all that, Philippe Chatrier brought the best out of Nadal. He would just not want to lose there, and he didn't. Points, games, sets, and matches. People would push him, but he would still come out as a winner. People thought, okay, push him back. He would use the depth of the baseline and the space he had behind the baseline like a king. People thought, all right, bring him up at the net. Well, that's what they thought, because every time Rafa came up to the net, he made sure that he was the winner in the end. People thought, all right, he's good by his forehand, try and attack him by his backhand. And every single time they thought Rafa could be beaten by his backhand, Rafa's movements made sure that whether it was to his left or to his right, both the back and the front hand would work just as well to beat the opponent. And who were the opponents here? Stan Wawrinka, Andy Murray, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Dominic Thiem, Alexander Zverev, you name it. One big player after another. And everybody got decimated by Rafa on that very court. When Zverev was asked the question of how was it like facing Rafa Nadal on Philippe Chatrier, he said, I just can't tell you how, but it seemed to bring something out of him that I couldn't quite fathom. Every single time I thought I won the point, he would come back in a manner that would make me fret. Every single time I thought, I've done it, he would come back and make me look like a fool. That court brought something strange out of him that perhaps no other court did. I played him many times. I succeeded against him many times, even on clay. But that particular Court Philippe-Chatrier just seemed to bring the best version of Rafa out every single time. Tells you something. And it also tells you why he won 14 times in a major final on that very court. That's no joke. And that will most definitely go down as one of sports' biggest achievements in terms of a streak as long and as magnificent as that.